developing carpal tunnel syndrome. So to this hot oil, I'm going to add the artichokes and tomatoes. Just get a little bit of heat into those and we'll start to develop the flavor profile of the spices. Heat does that for us. Get them to fully bloom. Oh, this smells wonderful. Can you see that? All the wonderful colors. While that's warming, I am going to line a cookie sheet with foil. Foil is the best friend of a chef because we do lots of dishes in the kitchen. So lining your cookie sheets with foil is very important to saving your back at the sink. And I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on there and rub that on so that it doesn't stick. You can use a non-stick cooking spray if you prefer. This is warming up nicely now. Okay, and I'm going to be handling chicken, so I'm going to use gloves. I don't know about you guys, but I do not like the way chicken feels on my hands. Plus, this keeps me from having to wash my hands every time I turn around. So I have a 5-ounce chicken breast. We use portion control breasts in the kitchen. That way we know exactly how much we're putting into each recipe. And this has been pounded flat in a Ziploc bag with a rolling pin. You can use a meat mallet or whatever you prefer, but I have a one-handled rolling pin that my grandmother gave me when I got married. She said the other handle mysteriously disappeared and my grandfather had something to do with it. And she was sure to give that to me at my shower so that my husband-to-be would see that. And I've kept it all these years. Okay, so I'm just laying these chicken breasts flat. They've been pounded to about 1/4 of an inch in thickness, 1/2 inch maybe in thickness. And you want to get them flat and thin so that you can roll them up as we stuff them with artichokes and sun-dried tomatoes. So in our cooking classes, the #1 question that I get from people is, I overcook my meat. How do I stop doing that? And the first thing I'll do is observe them while they're cooking their meat. Typically they turn the heat all the way up to high, pour the oil in and immediately put the meat in. And that's a no-no when you're cooking meat, and we're not frying the meat here, but I'm just sharing this with you. Make sure that your oil and pan are very hot, and then add the meat. And sear each side so that you seal in the juices and you absorb less fat, and then turn your heat down a little bit. And we tend to overcook our meat. We cook it to death, and that's why it's dry and rubbery and all of those things. Okay. But it's important to get the oil very hot before adding meat. So what I'm going to do now is transfer this artichoke sun-dried tomato filling to a bowl so that doesn't continue cooking. And then I'm going to put some of that filling on each chicken breast, reserving some because I'm going to put it on top. Now, do some of you have experience stuffing chicken breasts? No? So it's pretty easy as long as you get the chicken thin enough. And then you just start on one end and roll. Like this. Hey, Randall, would you get me some mozzarella cheese out of the cooler? So what you wind up with is a nice little chicken roll.